How would you feel if a business came into your neighborhood with the intention of killing your children? You'd be outraged and want them arrested. But that's what Planned Parenthood is doing across the nation, and they're targeting blacks and Hispanics for extermination. Stay with us to see some dramatic and compelling evidence that Planned Parenthood is aggressively marketing abortion in minority neighborhoods. Sue Enown, a former mechanical engineer, is the lead researcher for Life Issues Institute, the sponsor of this television program. The Institute commissioned a cutting-edge study regarding Planned Parenthood targeting minority populations. By analyzing the latest census data, Sue has thoroughly examined the neighborhoods around Planned Parenthood surgical abortion facilities, and the published results are shocking.
What I started with basically was 165 Planned Parenthood surgical abortion facilities, and looked at, kind of centered them, put a 2-mile radius around them, which we considered a walking distance, because I really wanted to know whether Planned Parenthood was in or near the neighborhoods of minorities. So we put the 2-mile radius around, looked at every single census tract that was within walking distance of the Planned Parenthood facility, and got the population characteristics of those census tracts.
After all of your analysis, Sue, what were your findings?
Well, after looking at 165 Planned Parenthood locations, we found that 79% of them were located within walking distance of either African American communities or Hispanic or Latino communities or targeted neighborhoods. If you were just looking at African American communities, it was 62%. Just at the Hispanic or Latino communities, it was 64%. And 45% of their locations were located close to both.
Well, that's pretty strong statistics. Do you feel that this really makes a compelling case against Planned Parenthood?
I think it does, and especially if, having gone through them all and looking at the pictures, it was very clear to me. I made pictures for each city because that's the visual picture is so much stronger. As I went through all these various cities, I saw a very definite pattern emerge.
Sue, how does your study differ from other studies that have been done in the past regarding Planned Parenthood targeting minority neighborhoods?
Well, it certainly is by far the most detailed study and that really breaks it down to the neighborhood level. Some of the other studies have been done by zip code, which is a much larger area. The one I previously did was 1 and 3 and 5-mile radiuses around Planned Parenthood, which was very interesting and showed a lot, but it also averaged out some of the effects of the highs and lows of populations. Because within that 2-mile radius, you can have very high populations of African Americans and very low ones. So if you average it all out, you don't see the picture. So it actually provides a very clear picture of what is going on in the neighborhoods around Planned Parenthood.
Well, what do these findings mean for minority populations in these areas?
I think it means that they are definitely being targeted by Planned Parenthood. They want to be in these communities or near them. They want to be visible to the people in these communities. They want to be the go-to place for them when they have a crisis pregnancy. And they're very skilled, I believe, at convincing or helping girls to believe that an abortion is their best option. And it doesn't hurt that they make a lot of money from abortions. In 2009, 2010, they made an estimated $154 million on abortions. And unfortunately, we believe that probably about 40% of those abortions were of minority babies.
Coming up, we'll hear about the compelling visual way in which this stunning research is being presented to the public. Arnold Culbreth is the Director of Protecting Black Life and Outreach of Life Issues Institute. The fact Planned Parenthood targets minorities is nothing new. This research is. It focuses on the immediate neighborhood surrounding each Planned Parenthood surgical abortion facility. It documents a vast majority of them are located within walking distance of minority neighborhoods. Arnold and the team wanted to present this eye-opening information in a compelling visual way, so they created an interactive map on their website, vividly illustrating the findings.
When a person lands at the website, they'll see a graphic at the top of the home page. And when they click on that graphic, it will take them into a portal. The first thing that they will see will be a map guide that will explain to them what they're looking at. The blue dots represent the Black community. The red dots represent the Hispanic community. And then there are some dots that are half blue and half red, which are representative of both communities. When they click off of the map guide, it will then take them into a national map, a map showing the United States populated with all of these dots. When they click on a particular dot, it will open up a window that will show them the percentage of African Americans as well as the percentage of Hispanics within a given community. And they can also filter. By that I mean they can click on just the blue dots, just seeing the data relative to African Americans, or they can just click on the red dots and only see information relative to the Hispanic impact. They will also be able to go over on the far left-hand side. There'll be a plus and a minus on a bar, and if they'll just continue to hit the pluses, and it'll keep magnifying, taking them all the way down to street level, and it will give you the photographic visual of the front. And actually you can pan around 360 degrees around that particular Planned Parenthood surgical abortion facility.
Sue, why did you publish your data visually versus textually?
Well, I think that we are a very visual society, and I also believe that pictures tell the story better than anything else. And in doing this interactive map, it's kind of an instant gratification. You click on the picture, you get to see it. It's very clear from a visual point of view, and it really tells the story of what's going on.
Arnold, what impact do you think abortion's having on the African American community?
Well, it's sad to say it's having a very devastating and disproportionate impact on the Black community. Blacks are being impacted by abortion far greater than any other people group across this nation. You can take all other causes of death in the Black community and add them up, one on top of the other, and they don't come close to the number of Black abortions that we see on an annual basis. Every day in the United States, nearly 1,000 Black babies is being killed by abortion.
Ramona Trevino is a former Planned Parenthood clinic manager from Sherman, Texas. Ramona says she witnessed firsthand Planned Parenthood's greed for profit over providing what they claim is quality service to women. And through their hiring practices and facility locations, she reflects back on how they were specifically targeting the Hispanic demographic. You've been quoted as saying that Planned Parenthood treats women like cattle and that all they care about is money. Why do you have that position?
The reason initially is because, all managers are required to meet a certain amount of revenue every month. And then they're also required to meet a certain goal as far as patient goals. And, it's understandable in any, job that you have where you do need to have an income come in, a revenue come in order to sustain. But it was contradictory to me because Planned Parenthood, claims that they care about women and, they're the champion for women and the poor and the underinsured and all of those things. But, on one hand, they would say that we needed to spend time with the patients and make sure that we were educating them the way that we needed to and following those type of guidelines. But on the other hand, they pushed for us to fill, the clinic schedule, to see as many patients as possible with a very small staff.
As a former employee of Planned Parenthood, How much truth is there to the claim that Planned Parenthood targets minority women, specifically Hispanic women?
You know, I've reflected on that a lot since I've left. Looking back, I can see where that makes a lot of sense. They hire a lot of Hispanic women who are bilingual. And then I also noticed that there are certain locations who are located in heavy African American populated areas where the managers and the staff are African American. And you know, when I look back and I've give it some more thought, I can see where, you know, it does seem to be that they are targeting the Hispanic community.
What impact do you think abortion is having on the Hispanic community?
It has major impact on the Hispanic community. Hispanic women are 2 times more likely to get an abortion than Caucasian women. And we have seen over the years what it has done in the African American community. And the number on Hispanic women is on the rise. And I think a lot of it is due to the lack of education and us not getting the word out to the Hispanic community about who Planned Parenthood is.
When we return, we'll meet an African American woman who was targeted by a Planned Parenthood located in her neighborhood. Nicole Anderson McWhorter grew up in a predominantly black community in Cincinnati, Ohio, with a well-known Planned Parenthood just down the street. Her experience confirms the research showing Planned Parenthood targets African American neighborhoods.
Yeah, you knew about Planned Parenthood, just like you knew about your local dentist, your local doctor's office, your local grocery store. It wasn't a shock. Somebody said Planned Parenthood, you didn't say, what's that? Who's that? You knew exactly when someone said Planned Parenthood what that was.
About 18 years ago, you found yourself pregnant unexpectedly. Did you go to Planned Parenthood?
I did. The father of my child, his parent, he gave us the keys to his car and said, take her and go find out. And that's where he sent us. It wasn't make a doctor's appointment. It wasn't go to the store to get a pregnancy test. It was take her to Planned Parenthood and find out if she's pregnant.
What was your experience like?
When she took the test and gave me the results and she said, you're pregnant. And I just it was like a deer caught in the headlights. And she gave me options. She said, you have an option to keep the baby. You have an option to put the baby up for adoption, or you have the option of having an abortion. And so while she was presenting those options to me, the only one that she elaborated on was the abortion piece.
What led you to choose life for your baby?
I just couldn't see any of the other options fitting for me. It just never seemed to be the right thing. It was nothing that settled in me to say, this is what I'm going to do. Instead, I just embraced, I'm getting ready to be a mom. And then I looked at, some of the accomplishments that I had made. Just graduating from high school before I had a baby was a major accomplishment for me. So I wasn't going to be a mom who had to still struggle through her way of finishing high school. I had already done that. And I was living on my own and I was working. So I didn't really have a lot of reasons why. And it would have been a selfish thing to do. I wanted her.
Tell me about your daughter.
Miss Brianna. Wow. She's a 18-year-old freshman at Rio Grande University, studying journalism. She's my angel. Sorry, getting emotional. For the first 8 years of her life, it was just me and her. And she watched me struggle to take care of her. But she never made me feel like she didn't want to be there. I'm so proud of her. Making it through high school, going on to college. And I honestly just couldn't imagine my life without her.
In a moment, we'll find out how this research can help spread the truth about Planned Parenthood to minority communities.
Funding for today's episode of Facing Life Head On was generously provided by Home City Ice. It's healthier than homemade.
Nicole Anderson McCorder and Ramona Trevino have seen both sides of Planned Parenthood's targeting of minorities. They're both pro-life now, and Nicole works at Pregnancy Care of Cincinnati. She witnessed how Planned Parenthood strategically placed its facility within walking distance of minority neighborhoods in her own city, and hopes to counteract this strategy with pro-life pregnancy care centers. Nicole, if we were to go to the map behind you and look at where the local Planned Parenthood would it be in a predominantly Black location?
Absolutely. Well, it's centrally located, so you can get to it from on a bus. We're by a college campus. They're by a college campus. We're by 3 major hospitals: Christ, Good Sam University. We're by Christ, Good Sam University. It's by Xavier University. It's by Central State. They're by Xavier University, Central State. So I believe just as strategic as Planned Parenthood is about where they locate, pregnancy centers need to be just as eager and just as strategic in where they locate.
Do you think that women of color are aware that Planned Parenthood is targeting their neighborhoods?
No, I really don't think so. Talking about the issue of abortion openly is such a taboo topic. And because of that, because they stuff that down so deeply and keep that so hush-hush, they actually begin to believe that they're the only one that's impacted by this. And one of the things I'm excited about is we're talking in churches and conferences and college campuses, and women and men who have had abortions do begin to talk. They begin to realize that there are a whole lot of other women and men that are also impacted by it.
What do you think it's going to take for Hispanic women to realize that Planned Parenthood is targeting them?
I think it's going to take strong pro-life women who have been in Planned Parenthood, former employees, people who are willing to speak out and really get the word out to educate, their friends and family, their communities. It's going to take a lot, I believe.
Well, I think one of the things that it'll take is getting this critical research into their hands, and I love the Google Maps function where you can go right down the street level and see the abortuary in your community, sharing that with other folks. And that's one of the things we work hard to help people to understand, is that you don't have to have a business card, you don't have to have a title, you don't have to have an office or some ministry to share this information. All of us have spheres of influence and people that we impact. Just share this information with others, and we're seeing wonderful results.
Hopefully, we can get the word out there and more people will become aware of this fact, because abortion causes more deaths in the African American community than all other causes of death combined. So this is a tragedy, and information is always important to changing people's hearts and minds.
We need to embrace the fact that we've been wrong for a number of years about abortion, particularly the spiritual and religious community. We've been wrong. We take a stance on well, we don't believe in abortion, but we don't have a right to tell another woman what to do. No, you're wrong. We don't believe in murder, and we say we don't believe another human being has the right to take another human being's life. That's what we say. That's what the church says. Why is this issue any different? Why is abortion any different? This is an issue that you cannot sweep under the rug, that we are literally killing off our future, and that just as we pick up and campaign for any other issue, this one deserves just as much.
My guests today have made a compelling case against Planned Parenthood, the nation's largest chain of abortion facilities. But don't just take their word for it. Go to the website and see for yourself. One African American leader said the evidence is undeniable. And now it's time for you to share what you've learned. Thanks for watching. Help stand with the Black community as they fight back to protect their women and unborn children from Planned Parenthood. Wear this beautiful wristband bearing the principal colors of the African kente found in African apparel. It'll help you engage people in conversation and direct them to the research found at Protecting Black Life's website. Visit our website at facinglife.tv. It's my free gift to all who request one. While there, get more information about this cutting-edge research and the interactive map. Also find out how to order a copy of today's episode on DVD to share with others.